Hi, it's Diana from the Dianaverse, and I am going to talk to you today about the new moon in Aries. If you like these astrology posts that I do, or the herbal ones, I haven't been putting as many of those lately, but if you like these posts, be sure to like and subscribe so that you know when I have new posts up. It really helps my channel, so thank you. So, our new moon in Aries. This is the lunar new year. This is the first new moon, which is in Aries, which is the natural start, the start of the natural zodiac. If you've been feeling a little moody the last few days while the moon was in Pisces, that would make sense. It's kind of bringing stuff up to heal. This new moon is going to be conjuncting Chiron, so there's a big healing theme this month. Even though we're moving with all these things into Aries, we've had to kind of get through the last degrees of Pisces. The last degrees are always where things are kind of like, okay, got to do the thing. So if there have been feelings of overwhelm, addiction, victimization feelings, like feeling out of control of your own life, Aries wants to take control. He wants to just step forward, just do it without thinking a lot. And Pisces has been kind of dredging up, like, these are all the things that are in your way that you haven't let go of. It can feel hard. It can feel very sad. I've had a little bit of tears and things this week myself. So now you should be feeling a little bit more determination. It also depends where this is falling in your own chart, where you have Pisces and Aries in your chart. I have it in my first house, so it's really like about me. And then as I move into Aries, I'm getting into the second house, which is like my finances, where I feel sometimes out of control. So you want to look at your own birth chart. You can get free charts, as I've mentioned before, on astro.com. You can plug in your birth information. You will need to know what time you were born if you want to get like your rising sign and stuff. If you don't have that, you can still get the rest of your chart. It's just not going to show you the houses, because that's really based on where your rising sign was when you were born. But those houses can really give you more detailed information. And there's a lot of sites online where you can look up what the houses mean too. So anyway, moving on. Whenever you're talking about the moon, you're also talking about the nodes of the moon, and that's a whole talk in itself. I'm not going to explain what those are, but you can find them. There's places when you're pulling up your chart will show you where your nodes are, but the nodes for everybody at the moment, like where the nodes are for everyone, just like Aries is like the new moon, the nodes right now are in Taurus and Scorpio. So Taurus is the north node right now, and they stay in the signs for about a year and a half. So we've been well into them, and we're in those right now. Is Taurus. It's what you want. It's what you want to build, because that's the north node. It's what you want to move towards. And then the south node is in Scorpio. So that's what you're struggling to let go of. So that could have really been brought up by this Pisces moon the last few days before we got into Aries. So this moon kind of lingers because it'll stay in Aries through the second. Chiron is kind of the anchor of this new moon, because Chiron has been in Aries for a while, bringing up healing around the self, the brain, the health of yourself, your mental health, things that have to do with like who I am, who I identify with being, where I want to take action. Chiron has been kind of working on that for a while. And it will retrograde this summer and kind of go back over these points that we're hitting right now at this period of time. So this isn't like you have this new moon, it's over, blah. No, there are other planets there, and so their influence will keep this kind of energy that we're highlighting going. So there's kind of a buildup, because we've got the new moon, and then the conjunctions between these planets. It's the moon, Mercury, the sun, and Chiron. They're all in Aries. They're all connected fairly close together. The actual conjunctions are going to be happening overnight on the 1st into the morning of the 2nd, with different planets that are conjuncting as the moon moves across them. So you want to watch out for some buildup, maybe of frustration and anger. You can see this reflected in the world too. Well, been seeing it, right? Because Chiron's been trying to heal some of this stuff with Aries, which Aries is like the warrior, wants to go. So watch out for words that might have a little more impact than you meant. It can be hard to take things like that back, especially with Mercury. Things can fly out of your mouth kind of quick, and that might not be a good thing. You might want to be still for a minute. Use that opposite energy of Libra to like stand still and think about it for a minute and then act, right? Some other things that are going on. We've got Venus and Mars are still conjunct, traveling with Saturn. So it brings a little bit of a heaviness to like, will things work, or you can't do that, or kind of your structural things. Venus, after her retrograde, was a little tired. She's going to pick up a little steam as she's moving faster now. She's kind of separating from Mars. Although they're still together, she will be the first one to leave that conjunction as she moves into Pisces. She's more comfortable in Pisces, so she was a little tired after her retrograde, and then she was like, oh, do I have to, with Mars through Aquarius, where he was more energized and like looking to the future. She's going to be relaxing into Pisces. That's more her element, whereas Mars is going to start to peter out a little bit energetically. They've both been picking up speed. They were together for like a month, and now they're finishing up in Aquarius, and they will be kind of separating as they get into Pisces. But that Saturn is going to kind of create a check before we get into that. That's going to happen in like another week or two. Like they're still making like their future plans at the moment, but just kind of a heads up, like where the energy is going. Hopefully we'll see some cessation of hostilities in the world as Mars loses steam and Venus like wants to know where the resources are and get a little more comfortable with and negotiate a little more. Another thing that's going on, we've got our Jupiter Neptune conjunction that's going to be happening on the 12th of April. So all of this pressure from these different things going on can really create some creativity. Last time we saw this, as I've mentioned in my other videos, was like 150 years ago. This is a really long cycle. Can be really big creative imagination things that are going on. So if you are into the arts or writing or just need to reimagine your life, this could be a great time for it. It's also the end and beginning of a new 12-year cycle for Jupiter, because as it moves out of Pisces, it will be moving into Aries, like I said, the beginning of the zodiac. So Jupiter takes 12 years to go through the cycles, and this will be start of a whole new cycle. So if you think back 11, 12 years ago, were you starting a whole new cycle? Well, you're going to be starting a new one again. So you might want to be conscious about planning that out. What kind of things you're going to want to take action on. So use this big imagination point on the 12th to really dream up your best next 12 years. What I want to suggest herbally for plant friends is lemon balm. Jumped up and was like me. Really works on the nervous system, helps harmonize. It's a mint plant, so in Chinese medicine they say that it releases to the exterior. So stuff that you've been holding in, you can breathe and let that out. In fact, breathing would be a really good exercise to be doing right now. Helps with allergy season too, while everything starts blooming. The other thing that came up was dangui, and you could also use angelica, pretty closely related plant. Dangui is Chinese angelica, and that is a blood mover, used as a blood mover, and also blood builder. So building your strength as we go into all this action can really help with the digestion. So yeah, that's a good one. And then for the rock friends this time, what came up was a more complex kind of healing thing. And that's the times that we're in at the moment. So be taking some rocks and heating them and putting them on your solar plexus. If you've ever had like hot rock therapy, that can feel really healing and soothing. So you want something that's kind of flat. You don't want something that's going to be scratchy. It can be any kind of rock, really, or you could use a crystal that calls to you. You want to just gently heat it, so you don't want to burn yourself, right? I wouldn't like stick it on a stove burner and then put it on your skin. But a great way you could do that would be to make some really hot water and put your whatever stone you're using on there. It'll kind of heat up with a little bit of time. I would only use things that are going to be safe in water. There are crystals that will dissolve, so you wouldn't want to stick those in water. You could also put them out in the sun, like put them out early. Know that you're going to do this thing in a couple of hours. Let your stones get nice and warmed up, and then place it on your solar plexus, or if you're doing visioning, maybe put it on your third eye. And that could be, see what comes up. I would love to hear feedback from you about what you feel if you take any of these plants or you do the rock therapy thing. All right, so that's what I'm up to, and I hope you have a great day and a great week, and this is all fairly peaceful for you, and whatever comes up, you work with and you deal with it and heal it, and not always easy, but worth the work. All right, see you next time.